Hello and welcome to On the Wrist. Today we have the Belmont series watch from a microbrand called Duckworth Prestex. This watch is currently available for pre-order with a release date of November 28th, 2022. With a beautiful rectangular case, excellent design details, and solid technical specs, this watch seems to have a lot to offer, but more on that in a minute. We'll go through a quick introduction and then we'll get right into the review. Before we get started, I do want to clarify that this watch was sent to me for review by Duckworth Prestex. However, I will be sending the watch back to them after I finish recording the video. Let's start off the review by going over some of these beautiful design details of the watch. Look at that dial, the green Fumé dial with those beautiful wave patterns milled into it. I love that there's the lighter green in the center that radiates out to the darker, deeper green on the outside. Paired with the beautiful orange second hand and accents around the dial, I love that at the 5-minute markers there's that splash of orange, as well as the 300 meters being in orange to really make that design pop. You'll notice that the finish on this watch is a bead blast, which is very different from most brands typically use either a brushed or mirror polish, so it gives this watch a very unique look when paired with that rectangular case shape. Now, for those of you wondering about the brand Duckworth Prestex, this brand was actually founded by Neil Duckworth, the man who brought Tag Heuer to the UK in the 1980s. The last few generations of Neil's family have been deeply involved in the watch industry, starting in the 1920s when his family launched their own series of pocket watches under the name Prestex. As that business grew, eventually in 1948, Neil's father, Gordon Duckworth, diversified the business and started also selling Swiss watches such as Omega, Rolex, and Heuer. Eventually, the Prestex range was quietly discontinued, but it has always been a dream for Neil to resurrect his family brand. Now, under the brand of Duckworth Prestex, Neil has done just that. But now let's get back to this watch in particular. Let's have the technical specs pull up here on the left. So the diameter is 42 millimeters with a lug-to-lug of 50 millimeters. The case is a 316L stainless steel with a bead blasted finish. The thickness is 13 millimeters, not too thick. The crystal is a double-domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on the inside. The movement is the Miyota 9039 automatic movement that has an accuracy of plus 30 seconds, minus 10 seconds per day, and has a power reserve of 38 hours. The watch has a water resistance rating of 300 meters, and the hands, indices, and bezel has BGW9 lume. It is a solid caseback with the Duckworth Prestex logo, but more importantly to me, the bracelet actually has quick release action to it, which makes it so easy to change out the strap. The rubber strap option is also quick release. Again, something I think is critical for watches and makes them so pleasant to have and easy to swap out straps. I find the bracelet to be very comfortable with these smaller links. It makes it very easy to get a comfortable fit. The buckle has a nice quick click to release it, but more importantly, it also has a micro adjustment feature for the bracelet. So by pulling this, you get this to slide out and it can ratchet in, such a way that you can get a perfect fit with this bracelet, and there's a second micro adjustment point there at the base. The rubber strap that comes with it has this nice smooth exterior, a very solid and thick rubber strap, and the buckle has the Duckworth Prestex logo, as you can see there. The back has this nice interesting pattern to it that helps grip your wrist, feels comfortable, and gives it some extra flexibility. Let's get a couple shots on the wrist. Here we have it on my 7¼ inch wrist. The rubber strap really is quite comfortable. The green pairs so perfectly with the other greens on the dial. It feels nice on the wrist, very firm, and for my size wrist, it was easy to get a good fit with this strap. And here we have it in some natural lighting so you can see how the light plays off that dial. The orange on the second hand and the dial really pop in this natural light. But real quick, let's check what time it is. It looks like it's time to like and subscribe. Did you know that less than 3% of viewers are actually subscribed to the channel? So if you are enjoying this video and like my content, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button because it will significantly help this video in the YouTube algorithm. But thank you for watching, and let's get back to the review. And now we have it on the bracelet. Of the two straps, this is my favorite. I think the look of this bracelet with that bead blast finishing is so sharp, and I love how it comes down immediately. So even though it's a 50 millimeter lug to lug, it still fits quite nicely on my 7¼ inch wrist. I do want to note that the micro adjustment on the bracelet, while it's great to have, this one can click in a little easier, as you can see there, so there is a risk of if you're wearing it, it gets tighter, so I would recommend only using it for a minor adjustment. And here we have it again in the natural lighting. I think this bracelet is my favorite way to wear the watch, and the bead blasted look really catches the light well. One of the last things that I looked at about this watch was the actual movement itself, the Miyota 9039. For a watch of this price point, I would have expected a Sellita SW200-1, but looking at a comparison of the spec sheets on Caliber Corner, it appears that the Miyota 9039 is very similar spec-wise to the Sellita, actually beating it in terms of power reserve as well as accuracy compared to the standard grade of the Sellita. I can't speak to the reliability or the long-term performance of both. However, on paper, they both appear to be similar specs, and so that matches my expectation for the level of movement that would be in this watch. Alright, let's talk MSRP and value. So MSRP of this watch on a rubber strap is $895 US, whereas on a bracelet, it's $995. There are 3 different color options to choose from, each which has a different color rubber strap attached to it, and you can also choose different color straps if you want. Now that price point to me puts us in entry-level luxury territory, and I think for that price point, the feature set that it has, the domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, a Miyota 9039 movement, the aesthetic design, and the attention to detail on all of the features is there, and I think this competes nicely with other watches of that price point. Closing thoughts. I really like the design of this watch. I think the cushion case, this rectangular case, is something you don't see that often, and it's executed very well here. I really enjoy how it fits on my wrist at that size. I love that it has the quick release bracelet, a lot of really great features, and I'm really liking the design aesthetic. But what I would like to know is, what do you think about this watch? Do you like the rectangular case shape? Do you think the value matches for the price? Also, what do you think of the Miyota 9039 movement compared to the Sellita? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. That's all for me today. This has been On The Wrist. Thank you for watching.